started, I just want to confirm with you that you're comfortable doing this. It's a fictional counseling session and I just need your verbal consent.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Olivia, so I really want to thank you for coming in today. Before we get started, I'm wondering if there's anything I can do to make you feel a little more comfortable.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so are you familiar with the idea of confidentiality?
No.
Okay, so basically anything that we say together in these counseling sessions will be kept between the two of us. I won't be sharing it with anyone else. The only exception to that would be if you told me that you were going to seriously harm yourself or were thinking about harming someone else. In either of those cases, I would have to let the appropriate resources know of how you were feeling. As well, before we kind of dive into things, I want to ask you if it's okay if I take some notes. This way I can just kind of keep track of everything we're discussing together. If we choose to meet again, I'll be able to kind of review what we talked about and then jump right back into it next time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to grab a pen. All right, so why is it that you've come to see me today?
It wasn't really like my choice because my social worker is making me come to these things now because apparently she thinks there's something wrong with my drinking habits, and this is one of the requirements for me to be able to get my kids back.
Okay.
So,
So you've lost your children recently due to your drinking,
yeah.
and it was your social worker who decided that you needed to come in.
Yeah.
All right, what's your thoughts on your drinking? How do you see it at this point?
I don't really see it as problematic as what my social worker does. Like, the way she's making it seems like I'm an alcoholic, but I don't think I'm an alcoholic. Like, I use it to help me cope with things and, like, relax, but I don't see it hurting my kids.
Right.
Or me. Like, I'm doing it to help me.
Right. So you see your drinking as something that's kind of taking the edge off your day and helping you relax and deal with life stressors, but other people such as your social worker aren't seeing it the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk to me a little bit about the quantities that you're drinking, how much you are and how often?
I probably have like a 12-pack a day.
Okay.
Or like maybe more depending on what my day was like.
And were you typically drinking in front of your children, or was this just kind of happening when you were by yourself?
I guess now that I think about it, like, sometimes it was in front of them, like, other times it was like, I'd be with my friends, or by myself, or with someone else when they were asleep.
Okay. So you're talking kind of about how you're drinking in different social settings, and it's normally to kind of take the edge off of a stressful day. I'm wondering if you could tell me a couple more of the positives that you see from your drinking habits.
Well, I find, like, it's something that I enjoy doing. Like, I find that, like, when I go out with my friends, like, it's something for me, and I'm not doing drugs. Like, it's not as harmful to me as that. Like, I'm not addicted to.
Right, so you feel like you could be doing worse things than what you're doing,
Yeah.
and that you're doing just fine, coping
Yeah.
the way that you are. Okay, well I want to thank you for sharing that information with me. I kind of want to flip the question on you now and instead ask if you could tell me about some times, I know you already mentioned losing your children, but other times where your drinking has been problematic.
Well, right now I don't have a job. Like, I'm on social assistance because of my drinking, I guess. My employers haven't understood my habits, and like I was coming in late, or I was coming in hungover, and they didn't like that. So I went through a lot of jobs, and I haven't been able to get employed because I haven't been able to get really good reference from anybody.
So would you agree with me in saying that your drinking is affecting other parts of your life as well? Not just your children?
Now that I think about it, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, well it's really great that even in a short period of time you can kind of already start to see that. I'm wondering what you think is going to happen to you in the future if you do nothing, if these patterns just continue. Like, how do you expect the rest of your life to kind of pan out?
I never really thought about it, but I guess, well, I'm not gonna be able to get my kids back, and I'm probably never gonna be able to have a stable job, and like my relationships are probably still gonna be affected, like with my boyfriend and other people, my family.
Can you talk a little more about your relationship with your boyfriend and how he feels about your drinking?
Well, I haven't really been able to have like my relationships in the past usually end, like they don't stay as long because I like people, once they see how my drinking is, they don't agree with it and they leave. But like he's trying to support me, and like I guess he gets frustrated that he like the responsibility of the kids are like pushed on him, and are like I'm not there like I should be. Like he thinks that you can enjoy and do things without drinking, but like I just view differently, I guess.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that because of the drinking that you've been doing, although you don't necessarily see it as a problem, it is affecting the lives of your children who have been now removed from your care. You haven't been able to hold a job because your employers have been dissatisfied with your quality of work because of it. And also, your boyfriend is feeling a bit more of a burden to kind of keep up with the children and the maintenance of the home because of your habits. Okay, so I see you nodding with me, so I think it's good that you're kind of starting to see that maybe other people are being affected by it as well. I kind of want to shift gears here a little bit now and go through a bit of like an imaginative exercise with you. So basically I want you to kind of shut your eyes in a minute and imagine that a miracle happens tonight while you're sleeping. You didn't know that it happened, but you just kind of wake up and your day begins, and there are indications in your day telling you that something has changed. So basically ways in which your life could be better. But you wouldn't know that the miracle had necessarily happened. So it would just be from the things that were happening in your day.
Okay, do you want me to do it now?
Yeah, whenever you're comfortable.
Okay, I guess I would wake up and feel good about myself and safe. My kids would be home, and I'd be able to be there for them and get them up for school and like pack their lunches and be like all the other moms that I guess be able to cope with my daily life and have like a stable job and something like a job that's meaningful, I guess, and have more positive like relationships with my boyfriend and more stable interactions and not feel this need to have to drink.
Okay. So if a miracle had happened overnight, the things you're telling me that would happen is you'd feel really kind of good and safe when you woke up. You'd have high energy, you wouldn't be feeling too sluggish. You'd be able to help your kids through their morning routine instead of still being kind of in bed. Is that how you're feeling?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said you kind of want to feel like the other moms. So are you feeling a bit alienated from them at this point because of your drinking?
Yeah, like they do all this extra stuff with school, and like I don't do those things because I guess I don't know, it's like an expectation that you can do all these, like have money to do everything, and like I guess it's just that extra pressure to provide those things for your kids.
And these activities are something you'd like to be a part of?
I would be, but I feel like I guess I can't because of how I'm coping with my life.
Okay. You've also mentioned in that little exercise that you'd hope to have a really meaningful job, something that you enjoy, and you'd have a more stable relationship. So I'm wondering if at this point you could kind of agree with me that your current habits with all of this drinking and instability don't exactly line up with these goals for your future.
guess, like, since we talked it through and, like, actually thinking about it, I can kind of see how that's right.
Well, Olivia, it's so impressive that you've come to that conclusion even in this short period of time. I think your children would be really proud, and it's great to see that, you know, you do see that something needs to be changed in order for you to get kind of where you want to be in your life. I'm wondering if you've ever tried to quit before, and if you have, if you could kind of tell me how that went.
I did try once, and it didn't go very well. My kids were really young, and my mom took them for me. I went to detox, and I went to rehab and went through the program, but when I came out, I didn't really have the supports or to help me manage the stressful situations in my life. Like, I still was a single mom, like I still was on low income, like going to rehab didn't fix all those other issues that I didn't, you know.
Yeah, I want you to know that's really common. Just because you have tried quitting before and it didn't work doesn't mean you're a failure by any means. We can just kind of take that and use that to help you do better next time. So with all these current behaviors that are happening, as well as your previous attempts, I kind of want you to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 what your motivation is right now to make some sort of change. So a 1 would be you've got no motivation at all, you're never coming back to see me, and you don't care. And a 10 would be like you're ready to full force dive into this right now.
Maybe, I guess, a 6.
A 6? Okay, so why do you feel that it's a 6 and maybe not like a 3? So what's kind of pushing you forward?
I just really want my kids to have the best life that I can give them, and not remember their mom as being someone that disappoints them. Like, I want to be able to have them home with me and not in a strange place where they don't really feel safe.
Yeah, you want them to be home with their mom.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like that's the way it should be. Okay, so I'm wondering if you would consider meeting with me again at some point, and we could kind of come up with a treatment plan for you. It wouldn't have to be anything big at first, just kind of like some small changes, and we can kind of go from there and see how you feel. Also might be a good idea if we could include your boyfriend in some of our meetings and just kind of get his input on things as well. Sometimes it's great to have another person's point of view to kind of get the whole picture.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful, because like I feel like he doesn't really get it, like how, like I can't, it's like sometimes he expects me to just quit, and it's not as easy as just quitting.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more.
Yeah, it must be really challenging for you because you're obviously going through some things right now, and if the person who's kind of supposed to help you through all of that, it's challenging if they don't necessarily see it the same way you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm wondering now, before we clue up, because our time is sort of running out, if there's maybe something that you could commit to doing between now and the next time we meet, just some sort of small, tiny little change that can kind of kickstart things for you. I mean, it could be something as simple as agreeing that you're not going to drink any more than you've already been drinking. So you were saying you drink about a 12-pack a day. I'm wondering if you could commit to not drinking any more than that for now.
Like, what would happen if I couldn't do that?
I mean, that would be fine too. Like I said, like any sort of relapse or slip up is still a great way to learn, and we can help you figure out better ways to do things that are going to be more effective. For example, I know you were saying you tried your detox before and then you came out of things and it was still kind of that same environment, so those triggers were still there for you. So that means we could have a discussion about any high risk situation. So that would be a situation where your motivation or your intent to drink is higher because of where you are or who you're with or something like that, and we could kind of go through that together, and that could just be the first step.
Okay, yeah, I think I could probably do that.
Okay.
I can try.
I think the progress that you've made in this time together has been incredible, truly. I really applaud you for coming. I know when we started you said you didn't really want to be here, and like now you're already ready to commit to a bit of a change to help your children get your life back on track. Before we clue up, I'm just wondering if there's like any other questions you had for me, or anything you felt like you really wanted to say you didn't get out, or any other pieces to the story that we may have missed.
No, I think that's everything for now.
Okay, perfect. So we'll make a time to meet up again soon.
Okay, thank you.